feel like I've said something very similar on that topic before, because it's true. I mean, if we were the exact same, we wouldn't be able to bring each other out in the areas that were different. I mean, it just wouldn't be right if we're just like you were saying in the beginning, like if we came to each other both perfectly, then it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
You know, if we're both imperfect, then we can be perfect together.
Yeah.
We need each other to fit that, you know, obviously not perfect, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. And one thing that I think we're still working on to a degree, because I know we have our moments. I definitely have my, you know,
we both
tougher
do.
time with this, but you know, how we prioritize communicating with one another. Like you, obviously.
I communicate too much and you communicate not enough.
I get it. And
you mean I get it?
no, I'm saying I get why you are coming at me right now like that. But so, and you point this out to me too, where I need to work on, you know, like my active listening. Like I know that that's like one of my weaker points.
I mean, yes and no. I think you're a really great listener when you want to be, you know?
Right.
Sometimes I think just the way life is, we're so busy. I think as we've been married longer, your listening ears do kind of falter at sometimes, but that's just because we're constantly moving and constantly, you know, got to get to this and that. But yeah.
And I think, you know, the second half of this point was, and this is where I think sometimes when we have our tiffs together, and what I hopefully try to get you to realize is just the importance of understanding the other person's perspective.
Yeah, I think we've worked.
Like, I think we both struggle with it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think this just comes with like a serious relationship, marriage, right?
Yeah.
Like the willingness to put your perspective on the back burner while listening, because it's important to understand where the other person's coming from in order to reach a resolution, you know, or solution to whatever it is y'all are we're tiffing about.
Yeah.
Because it's not about you hearing me necessarily, but us hearing each other from each other's perspective to be able to understand, right? Like an active listening is kind of taking yourself out to hear the other person's side.
No, for sure. And I think being more open in that communication, that prevents us from inevitably what most people, I think, struggle with and why they get a divorce is resenting one another. Like if there's closed off communication, that leads to higher resentment.
Absolutely.
But when we're open with our communication, that leads us to understanding their perspective and like where were they coming from. And
I was just thinking, like, you mentioned resentment, and it's true. Like, I mean, just think if we didn't talk for an entire day. Okay, first of all, that would be so weird. But if we didn't talk for an entire day and like I did something in the morning to bother you and you didn't tell me about it, imagine how it would be by the end of the day, by the end of the week, by the whole month. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it is like, it's important to solve issues and to build a better bond, to hear each other out and to really understand the other's perspective. Mm-hmm. And that can only happen if we're talking.